Yeah, I was talking this morning about circles and shit. Um, I just looked at my video that I posted. Um, I find it interesting that in a lot of my videos when I'm orating, uh, certain words are like garbled or somehow changed into other words. Still my voice, but just changed into other words. Certain things. Whatever. These jackasses will keep doing their retarded shit and whatever. I don't care. But anyway, when I made that video, the previous one to this one that I'm going to post, it was kind of early in the morning, but anyway, I forgot to add, the part where I kind of lost track of my thinking. It was this that I was going to speak about. They talk about the string theory or the grand unification theory of where they're trying to unify the forces, the nuclear force, the nuclear force, the electromagnetic force, the gravity, and da 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 da. Basically all the forces come down to four, and they've unified two over here. You've unified two over here, and they're trying to unify all four of them. Whatever, space, time, energy, mass, gravity, and the nuclear, the electromagnetic force, blah blah blah, and they're trying to unify all this shit. It's all the same thing. Everything, the whole physical universe is just energy, transforming into other forms of energy. All being active, just active energy transforming from one form to another, and a constant degrading state that's called entropy, and it's just slowly it's slowly converting into heat or whatever, given enough time, all the energy is going to wind down, and it's just going to all just be converted into heat. It's just a static, even spread of heat energy just throughout everything, and it won't be active anymore. It'll just be static at rest. Because another thing in physics is energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. So it's all the entire all the energy that exists in creation, or the physical reality and whatnot. It's the amount is we can't know if it's infinite or finite yet, but the amount is the same. It is the same amount throughout all eternity. It always was, it always is, and always will be, because it cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can only change form. So you've got all this activity, the sum total of everything is same, and it's always existed and always will, and that's a static thing. But within the system, you've got this activity, energy transforming from one state to another, and so forth and so forth. That's what you call where you get your dynamism. So one is female. If you look at the yin yang, the Tao, and whatever, the Tao, you got your yin yang. You got one is considered female energy, and one is considered male energy. Well, the male energy is the active, and the female energy is at rest. One is active, or what you say aggressive, and one is at rest, or what you say passive, whatever. And the female is, if you look at all these fertility, ancient fertility, pagan fertility, it's all fertility rites. And it all revolves around basically a divine union or, sexual intercourse, the union between the male and the female. How does that work? One is like a container, and the other it is contained. You put them together basically. I mean, I don't want to be vulgar here, but one contains the other, and so forth. And the container, that's why in a lot of your the modern day occult religions that talk about the divine union or the great rite or whatever, it is symbolically performed by dipping the athame or the ritual knife into the chalice, and there you go. You got the female container and the male implement being inserted and contained within the females. Same thing with cauldrons and da 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 da. All vessels and containers of that such are representative of female energy, and any long or phallic shape, whatever implement or tool that is inserted into the vessel, that is the representative of the male energy. So you've got the female that is a container, a vessel, which kind of envelops the male implement or whatever within it, and well, there you go. That's the static. That's the total amount, the sum total of all the energy that exists and always has been, always will be, and it's just throughout eternity. That is just static. It never changes. And if the total system is just unchanging. If you look at it from an outside perspective, that would be considered the female. The female energy, the container, which contains the male within it, which is the active, the aggressive, and the total. If you look at the total, it's at rest. It's static. It's always just the same. Da, da, da. And then, but you look within it, you've got all this energy changing form and all this activity, and da da da. That would be your dynamic or your active. So you got passive and aggressive, or rest and activity. So you've got the female, which is the total system that is static and unchanging. That's your female. And then within it, you've got all this energy transforming and changing form. That's your male. So the female contains the male, and it's real interesting that some of these occult, these, I don't know, the modern ones, represent. If you look at the highest degree, a lot of these have an upright pentacle for the female and an inverted pentacle for the male. And let's just discard all these notions of Satan and all this shit, all these connotations that a lot of people assign to the shit. And a lot of that assignation is actually caused by retarded people that use all this, that get into these religions and use these philosophies and for their own purposes, and they develop quasi fucking satanic shit and blah blah blah. Anyway, whatever. But the total the complete symbol is the upright pentacle surrounded by a circle, and that's called the endless knot, or a druid's foot, or I like the term endless knot because it is a knot, but it's endless. It's within a circle. And if you were to bounce a beam of light, or somehow was able to shoot a beam, the laser beam or something there, that was perfectly parallel. They say a lot of people don't understand that laser beams are not completely parallel. the coherent. I mean, it's coherent light, but it kind of goes out, and as it goes, it kind of like expands a little bit. So you got to somehow adjust so that the beam stays at the same width and focus. Whatever. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You bounce a beam of light off the inside of a circular wall that is reflective, that reflects the beam at a specific angle. I used to, I dick around with this shit. I had the angle, I can't remember now, but if you bounce it off a specific angle, the beam will bounce off, and you go up there and bounce off, and it just form a pentacle because the angles, and it just keep going. Yeah, I can't tell you if they cut the beam off. The beam that you already beamed in there will keep going, and it just things dissipate. It's energy, whatever. But anyway, so it's an endless knot. It's because it has to do with the angles and and the circle itself stands for eternity too. So the circle would be female, and the motion, the movement within it would be endless also, and endless moving. The endless knot, that would be your male. So you got a representative there of the female containing the male. So anyway, but inside the center of the upright pentacle is a inverted pentagon, and if you connect the corners of the inverted pentagon, you end up with a small inverted pentacle within that upright pentacle, and that's a representative of again the male within the female, or the dynamism contained within the static, or activity within a best whatever. It's all symbolic of basic principles of physics. All just a more prettier, fancier way, whatever. So on the perimeter of outside the first ring around the upright thing, you draw a little circle of so forth at each point along the panel, and each side, each one, you put a symbol of the elements, or the states of matter, solid, liquid, gas, plasma, and 0 point field. Where in the flip side of the religious side of things, you got earth, air, or earth, water, air, fire, spirit. So you got specific symbols for that. So you start with earth down at the lower left, the lower left point. You draw within the little circle, and you draw. You draw an upright triangle with shit, I can't remember. Anyway, it's a triangle with a line through it. It looks like a pyramid chopped off, and then the top just put back on. It looks like a line. Anyway, yeah, I can't remember if that's upside down or whatever. But then you go to the upper right hand side, and you draw a little circle outside the perimeter and inside that you put an inverted triangle. That is water, I believe. Yeah, no lines, whatever. And then you go to the left, and the left side of it, and you draw a little circle, and then you put an inverted triangle with a line through it, just like the Earth one, only flipped around. Then you go down to the bottom right hand side. Draw a little circle, and you put an upright triangle. No line, whatever. And then you go to the top, the very top, and inside of a circle on the outside of the perimeter at the top point, you put a circle, and you basically put You draw like an 8-spoke wheel. You put do it to plus, and then you do an X, and it makes it 8-spoke. That stands for the spirit, or whatever. And then you draw another circle around those. So you got two rings with the little circles, the elements in there, and an upright pentacle inside, and a little tiny inverted pentacle inside. That is your complete representation of basically the basic concept. The macrocosm, the microcosm, as within, so without. As above, so below, blah blah blah. So it's just a representative of the universe, how it basically works. Just basic, simple shit. And then, whatever. So, yeah. And these what was I talking about? Oh yeah, whatever. I got a little sidetracked. It's interesting. You get sidetracked, you go on a whole different fucking whatever. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. The grand unification theory, to trying to unify the forces and all that shit. It's all the same. It's all the same thing. They try to unify the different modicums of how that energy represents itself. So the theory that seems to represent or answer the questions more so than any other is what they call string theory. String theory is just basically saying that there's these little increments of energy that underlie everything, and they're called strings. And the strings vibrate, and they vibrate at specific frequencies, which creates different types of matter. So these little micro fucking base units of energy that underlie everything are vibrating, which is vibrate. That's sound. It's called vibrations or sound. Vibrations and they're vibrating at specific frequencies. Frequency is just basically the difference between what you call it? You got a wave, and you got a crest and a trough, and then a straight line in the middle. And if you measure the distance between the crest and the trough of the waves, and how tightly packed the waves are, and how stretched out, that's what you call it, the frequency, or the hertz, or whatever, that bullshit. So each of these strings, each class or whatever, each category, they all vibrate at different frequencies, and they basically create the universe. So yeah. So basically, everything. People say that reality is not real. We don't really exist. It's all just space and energy, and all the matter is not really solid. It's just an illusion. Because all the space between atoms and stuff. Well, they don't seem to understand the concept of all that. Because what they're saying is sort of right, but it's not exactly accurate to the actual what's going on. It's energy. It's particles. They see the space between particles, and it's the electromagnetic force that binds matter. And because everything's made out of matter, the electromagnetic force, because it's all negative. It's all negative, charged negative, repulsed negative. So you got a table, and or a wall or whatever, and or a door, and all the matter that all the little atoms, all the thing that makes up the door. It's all energy giving off a negative, basically a force field to bind all the particles, and it appears solid to you because you're not zoomed in on that micro fucking quantum world. But in your body's the same way. So when you try to walk through a door and you bump into it, and you're like, "Oh shit, man!" That's all that is. It's really kind of weird to think, but And in actuality, you you didn't bump into a door. Uh, your energy that makes up your body and binds the matter together in your body, which is actually energy, is negatively charged, and the same with the door. So when you bumped into the door, what happened there was the negative charge of the energy of the door repelled the negative charge of the energy of your body, and vice versa. So that's why you didn't pass through the door. But anyway, I went off on a fucking thing. Anyway, what's really going on is the base, the sub base thing is just energy, little units of energy called strings, and they're vibrating. It's sound, people. Everything is sound. It's energy vibrating, creating. It's sound. Everything that exists is sound, vibrations, and basically a field of energy that would be like ripples in water, or sound like waves in water. So basically, it's water, people. It's water and sound, and according to according to certain philosophies, certain religious affiliations. Everything has assignation, or everything. There's different categories of like water. You got your four elements, the spirit, and each one has a list of correspondences. Da, da, da. Well, under the heading water, among your correspondences, you can go ahead and write down sound. Yeah, sound. And the medium that the sound is propagating through is water. So yeah. Anyway, it's energy, but it's got the characteristic of water. It's all characteristics, whatever. But oh yeah, shit, I got sidetracked again. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, the string theory. There's different ideologies within the scientific community about string theory, and they can't solve this equation, this mass equations, and this mass equation to explain it all. And it always ends in this problem, because it always ends in infinity, and they can't accept that. They think that's wrong. It has to do with the number of dimensions. Okay, it has to do with the number. I think you keep coming up with an infinite number, and then these brilliant scientists, they can't understand that. Well, there can't be an infinite number of dimensions. It's just impossible. All these brilliant scientists. Well, listen up, people. The universe is circular, is it not? It's circular, and because it's infinite, if you think about it, it has no center. Everywhere you go is a center, and expanding and an expanding sphere. Yeah, if you take a circle, you draw a circle on a fucking paper, and you put a point in the middle, and you draw out rays from the center in all directions, and then eventually you'll fill up the whatever. But if you had that sphere expanding, the circle expanding, and at an ever increasing whatever, and you keep drawing rays, you could continue drawing rays out in all directions infinitely, because there will always be space on the perimeter of the expanding sphere for more rays, more points, rays coming out, points on the fucking perimeter. Interesting, isn't it? So yeah, you motherfuckers, you have the answer. You refuse to accept it. The answer is infinity. You solved the problem. You're just too stupid to realize it. Anyway, I'm out. Bye.